Friedrich Nietzsche, the 19th century German philosopher, is known for his striking critique of traditional morality, his perspective on human nature, and his call for a radical reevaluation of cultural values. His philosophy, often perceived as provocative and controversial, has profoundly influenced philosophy, literature, psychology, and other fields of study. In this video, we will explore Nietzsche's central ideas, from his critique of Christian morality to his concept of the will to power and his view of the Superman. Through a detailed analysis of his key works, such as Thus Spoke Zarathustra and Beyond Good and Evil, we will examine how Nietzsche challenges conventional conceptions of ethics, religion, and human existence, offering a radically different from the world and the individual. Nietzsche and the criticism of traditional morality. One of Nietzsche's best-known criticisms is towards Christian morality, which he sees as a slave morality that promotes weakness and submission. In his work, Genealogy of Morals, Nietzsche explores how moral values have evolved throughout history, arguing that traditional morality has emerged from the resentment of the weak toward the strong. For Nietzsche, Christian morality based on compassion and humility is a denial of life and a denial of the will to power, the fundamental impulse behind all life. Instead of Christian morality, Nietzsche advocates a morality based on the affirmation of life and the will to power. For him, morality should be rooted in the assertion of one's individuality and the full expression of oneself, rather than in submission to external standards. This perspective leads Nietzsche to propose an ethics of the transvaluation of all values, in which traditional values are questioned and reevaluated in light of the will to power and the affirmation of life. The will to power and the Superman. A central concept in Nietzsche's philosophy is the will to power, which refers to the fundamental drive behind all things in the world. For Nietzsche, the will to power is the impulse that encourages all living creatures to seek their own affirmation and expansion. The will to power should not be confused with power in the conventional sense, but rather refers to the assertion of one's individuality and the full realization of oneself. Related to the will to power is the concept of the Superman or Übermensch, which Nietzsche presents in Thus Spoke Zarathustra. The Superman is one who has transcended the limitations of traditional morality and has asserted his own individuality and power. Nietzsche sees the Superman as the human ideal, one who has liberated his will to power and created his own values, instead of accepting the values imposed by society. Criticism of metaphysics and religion. Nietzsche also criticizes traditional metaphysics and religion, which he sees as forms of escapism that deny reality and earthly life. In The Antichrist, Nietzsche attacks Christianity as a religion that promotes weakness and the denial of life in favor of an afterlife. For Nietzsche, religion is a form of denial of life, an attempt to escape from earthly reality rather than confront and affirm it. In place of religion and metaphysics, Nietzsche advocates a tragic view of life, one in which the reality of suffering and tragedy is acknowledged, but life is affirmed nonetheless. This tragic vision is expressed in his concept of the eternal return, the idea that life should be lived again and again with all its tragedies and joys, rather than being denied in favor of a future life in the afterlife. Nietzsche's philosophy is a powerful invitation to reevaluate our most fundamental beliefs and values. His critique of traditional morality, his concept of the will to power, and his vision of the Superman challenge conventional conceptions of ethics, religion, and human existence. Through his provocative and polemical writings, Nietzsche invites us to confront the reality of earthly life and assert our own individuality and power. In a world increasingly dominated by conformity and mediocrity, Nietzsche's ideas remain as relevant and stimulating as they were in his time. Leave me in the comments what you thought of the video, and if you like this video, don't forget to watch this video. It will help you better understand this philosophy.